Well, with everything that's going on right now, I just, picked up on this and something just clicked in the back of my head. And it's because of really when everything started to come out. So, like, just as you see, published on December 5th, 2023, 3 days ago. What happened 3 days ago? Like it seemed like everything was coming. Well, this has been going on for a while between Disney and Florida, but it was always on the hush hush what was going on. And I guess, what happened with FSU, that was the last straw. So I'll just read it out for a little bit, and then I'll play something for you because I think it's interesting, like to hear it from a professional who has more knowledge on the matter than I do. And, always nice to hear from those people who are, have a little bit more insight. The Walt Disney Company has been brought into sunlight in regards to their governmental capture of public entities in charge of Disney World governance and beyond. It's bad enough that even Bob Iger should be very concerned about his future. The recent revelation of Reedy Creek Improvement District (RCID) scandal has sent shockwaves through the Disney empire and raised questions about the broader implications for both the entertainment giant and U.S. law. The scandal involving corporate cronyism, unchecked power, and ethical breaches has exposed a darker side to Disney's operations, leading to significant consequences. In this analysis, we will explore the ramifications for Disney and consider how this unique situation may impact U.S. law moving forward. The dismantling of the RDIC, a district granted extensive powers by Florida law at Disney's request, marks a turning point for the entertainment behemoth. The audit's findings reveal a pattern of corporate favoritism, manipulation of local authorities, and a blatant disregard for the communities it operates within. As a result, Disney faces not only financial repercussions, but also a tarnished reputation, particularly as the public becomes more aware of the company's questionable practices. Financial impact on Disney's multifaceted is multifaceted. Beyond the dissolution of the Sweetheart RCID deal, Disney now faces scrutiny over its financial dealings, kickbacks to employees, and mismanagement of infrastructure. The company's once reliable revenue streams, such as theme, theme parks and consumer products, may be affected as the public grapples with the revelations of corporate cronyism. The financial downturn is exacerbated by recent box office disappointments and struggles with content creation, as highlighted by poor performances of animated releases like Elemental and Wish. Let's see this. I heard this is the show's executive producer, Latoya Ravino, who identifies. Okay, yeah, whatever. Disney's challenge, Disney's challenge extends beyond financial losses to rebuilding its broad image. The exposure of a not at all secret gay agenda combined with blah blah blah. So here we go. I want to get, yeah, we all know this stuff that's been pushed in our face. I want to get down to the new shit. Like the Reedy Creek scandal has broader implications for U.S. law, particularly in the realm of corporate governance and special district regulation. The case highlights the potential dangers of granting corporations quasi-governmental powers without adequate oversight. Policymakers may now reconsider the extent to which special districts can operate with autonomy and whether they need stricter regulation to prevent abuses of power and corporate cronyism. Perhaps even more importantly, we may be at the crossroads in which Florida law and its legal system will be pitted against a very Disney-favorable federal government and its legal apparatus. For Disney, this makes the presidential election in 2024 all the more important. How Disney-owned ABC News could go any further in favor of one particular political side remains to be seen. The scandal underscores the importance of holding corporations accountable for their actions. The Reedy Creek case reveals the limitations of existing checks and balances, as Disney exploited its autonomous authority for decades. Policymakers may now revisit regulations surrounding corporate influence in local governance structures, ensuring that the interests of the public are not overshadowed by those of powerful corporations. Instead, as a result of Disney's actions, the RCID became a privately controlled public entity that was serving only the private economic benefit of Disney. The old act allowed Disney to increase its corporate profits and enhance the expansion and operations of the Walt Disney World Resort at the expense of the public, surrounding communities, and the environment without mitigation. This far exceeded the powers and influence that the old act originally contemplated. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, it is, quite a sticky situation. And I mean, it goes even further than this. So one thing I was going to show you was, let's just play this for a second. Um, this guy here, legal mindset. I guess he's has some semi quasi involved, like he's involved in it to some degree, or he knows people involved, or some way 6 degrees of separation kind of deal. So he's just talking about it, his like what's exactly like the consequences of what Disney's done. So I'm just gonna play that right now. If you want to, you can go watch the whole thing. I did. It's actually very, very entertaining, even though it's just like a talk. But when you apply to what has happened with college football and the college football playoff committee, the way ESPN went on, the way Kirk Herbstreit handled himself in front of camera, like go back and watch Kirk Herbstreit. I'm pretty sure they're scrubbing that video off the internet right now, where he had all of the college football playoff teams lined up in order, perfect order, and he was very adamant and very biased where he's the Joel Klatt of ESPN, where and the Joel Klatt of ESPN, like you're like looking at college football from overhead, so you're really trying not to be biased. But yeah, like I said in the post, those dove hands, like I don't want to be employed, because that's what's gonna happen if that extra $150 million doesn't come in. That's pretty much that's probably Disney, ESPN's operating budget kind of deal. Because without that, they don't got nothing. Because I'm pretty sure once Florida is done with Disney, um, it looks like Trump is making a comeback. Because this inflation, yeah, you can't fight the inflation. You know what I mean? You can fight Trump, but you can't fight inflation and Trump at the same time. So, you know, I don't know, to be all of this just was, it seemed like it was always ready to come out, but with what happened with FSU, they're just like, yeah, Florida's like, yep, we had the audit, we were keeping it for, I guess, they had to they do this political football thing. But now this one, it seems it can destroy Disney. And I'm just going to stop rambling now and play the video.
Is another big factor in that this audit exposes.
And John, the audit puts it out there. The homelessness on 192, if any of you ever watched any of the documentaries or any of the movies about it, there is a serious problem on 192 just outside of Disney in the shadow of the Magic Kingdom. There is absolute generational poverty, and that is it's been directly influenced by Disney, right? It's not directly caused, but it's indirectly caused by Disney because they drained those resources from the surrounding communities because they never paid for any development, any road costs, any schools, any hospitals. They went from having, in the beginning, what was it, 20,000 employees to 100,000 employees. They've got a massive increase in the number of staff at Walt Disney World. And yet they haven't paid a dime for infrastructure, not a dime outside of their own infrastructure, which solely benefits Disney. They have a consistent history over the last 60 years of just benefiting Disney, not even other taxpayers in the district, just Disney. They even give the example, and there's the good example of the Hyatt, right? This was a super futuristic hotel that was built just outside of Disney. Well, the Hyatt ended up going completely out of business, and now it's used by those kind of urban explorers that want to go into a creepy old abandoned building because they couldn't compete, because Disney had an unfair competitive advantage because it wasn't paying any taxes, any costs, any impact fees to the surrounding communities like everybody else. It wasn't going through planning and development. It wasn't going through zoning. It was just doing whatever the hell they wanted at a bargain basement price. So this, in fact, hurt the surrounding community. It hurt other businesses rather than helped them. They came in on the promise that they were going to help, and they ended up absolutely damning the surrounding area for decades.
And so in essence, what happened is that in the 1960s, the Disney company came in and said, we're going to do all of these wonderful things, and we're going to have a city on property. And the state of Florida said, great, we love it. We're going to give 2 cities in a special district in this area, and they're going to have all these great powers for these great things you want to do. And then once those powers were turned on, once there were actual governments in place to handle this, the Walt Disney Company captured those governments and essentially ran those governments. And as you all have been expressing, the way Disney did that is that they took all of the governmental powers that were good for them, and they also managed to make sure that they were unaffected by anything that governments should do, which are a burden to a private corporation. Now let's read exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, I think they broke it down, what they did, the impact on the area, because Disney is supposed to be this, we are so woke and we care about the people and we love you as long as you're living in poverty. Running water, who needs that shit? Hospitals, man, just use duct tape, bro. Yeah, schools, oh, don't worry, there's the internet. You can teach yourself now. Chat GPT. This has been going on for 60 years. So can you imagine the generational poverty, as the man said, right outside Disney's doorstep, and people are just going in there? The shuttle bus probably just, they probably built like they're like, oh yeah, we're cleaning up the environment and making it better. We're going to build these really tall 50-foot trees that just block all these poor people right here. So, when the bus rolls in, people don't see the trailer parks and all the people with no electricity, you know? But yeah, then you got Kirk Herbstreit with his dove hands like, oh, it has to be Alabama. It has to be the SEC. Why does it have to be? So you can get your paycheck? Yeah, you guys, you know what? You know whose fault this is? It's Disney's fault. You know whose fault ESPN is messing around with? It's ESPN's fault. Do you know why? They have bums like Feinbaum on. When you have geniuses like Bill Connolly. No, they put Feinbaum. That's what I call him. Feinbaum on. This guy's all he is just a SEC homer, ESPN homer. The worst is when they put him and Stephen A on together, and poor Desmond Howard has to suffer this nonsense. Desmond, why are you still there? You're a Heisman Trophy winner. For God's sakes, just start your own podcast, the Heisman Corner, or something. We'll come up with something, Des. Trust me. Jump ship now while you still have some integrity. Desmond, jump ship now while you still have some integrity left. Ditch these bums. You too, Connolly. Connolly, who knows how far this thing shakes down, especially with ESPN. They're coming because they're already talking about lawsuits for you guys too. So who knows what's going to get in Discovery, because DeSantis is coming for all of y'all. He's taking it personally now because he says his kids are fans of FSU. His kids do the chop, the chop. Whether they do or not, it don't matter. He's going for that political football, and he's kicking it right into that guy who's afraid, that has no hands on the onside kick. He's kicking it to that guy. Just like in the movies. Oh yeah, who's that scared little bitch? Oh, yep, that's the guy. I'm not even getting monetized for this, so I don't even give a fuck. I could swear as much as I like. Yeah, when they start monetizing, then we gotta, change things up. But right now, cuss words can fly like nobody's business. But yeah, yo, this is gonna rock Disney. I don't know if anybody's invested in Disney, sell right now. Sell right now, because there's tax dollars and kickbacks and cronyism. Oh my god, they're probably they're gonna have to end up selling ESPN. Yeah, I could see why. I was hearing reports of Iger wanting to sell things to Apple, and Apple's gonna buy. Oh yeah, Apple's probably just waiting. We're like, we ain't buying shit yet, because Apple, Tim Cook, he has his like little information network that's probably better than the U.S. government. Put the CIA to shame, Apple, right? Oh, he knows. He's like, oh yeah, whatever you think you can sell it to us for, we could get it way cheaper after you fuck over FSU. Trust me, DeSantis is coming for you. We've spoken to his ass. Yo, I'm telling you, no one, like, I guess in the college football world, no one's really picking up on this one yet. But yeah, sometimes, as the fish rots from the head down, so you have to see how the fish is rotting. And Disney is rotting. Yeah, they're not really, like, I think the last thing they really have really is ESPN, and specifically college football at ESPN. That's the only thing they have left. That's the only thing they haven't messed up. Because they know if they mess that up, that's it. It's over. They don't have anything else to go to. There's nothing really like NBA. I grew up playing basketball, loving Michael Jordan. I wanted to be a basketball player. I liked college football before. I used to watch Notre Dame games and stuff. That's how I first got introduced to college football. The only reason, yeah, like, but I was more like Chicago Bulls basketball. Played basketball. I played some football too, but really was about ball, like playing basketball. Like it was way like when you thought about it, it's like if you could make it to be a basketball player in the NBA, it's way better than being a football player. Like there's only 15 other guys, so you don't really have to share all that revenue. You know what I mean? Like everybody, as long as you're good, you're like scrubs. As I said, as long as you're good, you're a scrub, and you see scrubs like making a good 25K now or 25 mil now. So I want to be a basketball player. Like that's where the money is. Like shit, the numbers are pretty tough, but if you do get in, hey, the money's way better. And then you're not really getting banged up and stuff like how you're in the NFL. Like you got 5 years really. In the NBA, like you can just ride pine for 8 years, play for 3. That's 11 years right there. So which one sounds better really? Say whatever you want, but like you have to think about long term. Like if the average NBA career is like 10 years and the average NFL career is 5 years, you're gonna try to be like, they don't really play football up here in Canada, so basketball it is, because the next one is hockey, and it's like they don't get paid jack shit compared to anybody. You know what I mean? So I think in hockey, I think nil pays more than hockey. Pretty close. Like college football nil is pretty close to like a hockey contract. Pretty close. Entry level. But yeah, I don't know. To me it just makes perfect sense now that Disney, like ESPN, because Disney, ESPN, ABC, like the whole family of degenerates, Um, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me now hearing about corruption and cronyism and all these things. Would it surprise you if they colluded with the CFP committee and said, "Yo, we pay the bills around here. So unless you want something bad happen, because something bad is happening, we need that $150 million for Bama being in there." That's just the beginning. That's just the starting point. Yeah, the only reason why they could piss off FSU, I mean, they're like, we already in trouble with DeSantis, so it can't get any worse. We need that 150 mil plus whatever Bama and like fans and everything and all that stuff. They it all gets absorbed in. So they're like, if Bama's not in there, who knows if ESPN's ESPN next year kind of deal? Because you could see what's going on with Disney. Failed movie after failed movie. For whatever reason, woke, whatever, you don't got the touch. Don't tell me people don't want to spend money because when a Super Mario or when and like any kind of these movies, Godzilla. Look at the new Godzilla movie. $15 million. $50 million to make this Godzilla movie, and everybody's saying, "Oh, it's awesome." In Japanese, it's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. In Japanese. And people are paying to see this. Inflation and everything. People are paying to see this. So it's not inflation. It's, yeah, when inflation comes and prices go up, people still want to be entertained. They're just a lot pickier. And they expect a lot more value for what they want, for what they spend their money on their entertainment. So that's what I said. Like, to me, when I look around, the only thing left that people find value in entertainment from that Disney offers is college football, because it's not the NBA. As I said, I used to like the NBA. I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, are they? I heard like play. What's it? The in season tournament or whatever. I'm like, okay, yeah. Are they in this? Is this? You see, I can't even speak properly about it. I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, are they even still playing this in season tournament? Like, what's going on with this thing? Are we still doing it? Is it still on? Like, who's in it? Are the like what's going on? So yeah, I mean, who's winning? Who's good? Is LeBron still playing? Like, I don't even follow NBA anymore. And I have to go through ESPN to do it. I just bypass the whole rest of ESPN, go straight to bookmark college football. There's nothing else I really need from ESPN other than the college football page and SP Plus. And even with that, like, if I see Feinbaum's face, I close my eyes and start scrolling down. Because those ears are something else. Dude, take out the earbuds. The AirPods? Those AirPods in the ears like that, when you have ears like that, that is not good. Like your ESPN, bro. Don't you have like the clip? The clip mics that you put on your collar? Collar mics? Like your what's up with these? I don't know. Don't you like? Yeah, are you trying to make yourself look like you're just like everybody else? You're not like everybody else. You're an ESPN propagandist, bro. Stop pretending to be like everybody else. Get a proper microphone. Take the earbuds out and stop pretending to be like a fucking bum. Cause you actually no, you can't pretend to be what you are a bum. Actually, you know what? Stop stop being a bum and pretend you're actually a professional, because you're just a bum propagandist. So take the earbuds out of your ear, get some proper headphones, or get a proper mic. Yeah, I'm using trash headphones because I'm a bum who's proving you and all the rest of college football wrong. From a guy who works there with you. But somehow you're propped up and he's like, where I don't even know where this guy is. It's like they keep Bill Colony tied to a desk in the basement. Push those stats. Vegas is calling with the whip and some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it feels. They give him his little Monday morning, you know, like, here, we need you to write this because we need to sound legitimate on Monday. or Sunday, whenever. Yeah, I know it's Sunday or Monday. Like I think it's Sunday. It's like we need to sound legitimate. Write us a column. But yo, Disney's a propagandist network, propagandist whatever. Lucasfilm, they've turned into a propagandist outfit. MCU propagandist outfit. It really doesn't matter what you're propagandizing. You know what I mean? If you're not trying to entertain me and all you're coming up with is, boring conservative nonsense, then you're propagandizing to me because you're asking me to pay top dollar for low value. That's how you know you're being propagandized to. When you have to pay these ESPN fees and they hold broadcasters hostage and they provide you with trash. Or they hype up the big MCU movie and you go watch it and you're just like, it wasn't bad, but was it worth $15 and the $12 in popcorn, butter, and whatever and all that stuff? Like, is it worth that? Does it make you want to like say? People are saying no, it's not worth it. It is not worth it to be propagandized into and to pay $25, $30, $40 to be propagandized to. Yeah, you go and you want to you entertain me? Sure, there's not enough entertainment around. So, you ever notice that one thing that can entertain you seems to do like super crazy, even though it's like just some $15 million Godzilla film or the other film from the summertime that beat out Mission Impossible, or I forgot what it's called, something of freedom, Tears of Freedom, or something like that. I'm sorry, like again, I I used to keep up on all this like stuff and whatever, and I have all of like the ideology of everything, and like you hear it. How can you not hear it? It's like the the culture counterculture battle is just raging on. But this is a culture battle that I think will rock all of, as they say, it's going through all of the Disney empire, like ABC, ESPN, and again, 2 days, 2 days, 3 days, 2 days after the whole announcement, it seemed like they they knew, and then they were waiting for them. Like, oh really? We're playing chicken. Let's see if you really want to do this. And then they're like, oh yeah, because it's like we know it's you Disney, we know it's you ESPN, we know you broke. So you want to do this? You want to go down this road? Okay, actually, I think this could be the actual big catalyst. I don't know the partner that FSU is gonna find, but FSU, if you're listening, just do what Texas A&M did and just say, "Yeah, we out of here." Well, you're gonna keep dealing with ESPN and ACC. They showed you what they are. Yeah, the ACC, NC State is the chair, Boo Carter, whatever. Boo Carter, boo! This guy's a ghost. This guy was literally boo ghost in that room, probably. Listen to him talk. That man was a ghost in the room. Boo, yeah, boo, boo, and everyone's like, "Did you hear something?" I don't know. It's like everybody else is like, "Yeah, no, I think the window's open." That's boo Carter. Yo, FSU, get up out of there. DeSantis is on your side now. Just tell him. And the Florida legislator do what they did with Texas A&M, where Texas just said, "Yeah, you're a state school. Your immunity. Sorry, ACC. Peace out." And what has the Big 12 done to Texas A&M since? Absolutely nothing, because they have immunity. So yeah, just that's your way out. Get somebody else, another state school, NC State or whatever, as long as they're a state school. Tell them to hook up with their legislature, grant them that legislator to grant them immunity. Both of you go, because you're gonna have to find somebody and get out now. They literally told you that you're playing in a group of five conference, dude. You went undefeated in a Power 5 conference. That means you should get in over a 12-1 team. I don't care. SP Plus says you're exactly the same rating as Bama. So you're 12-0, they're 11-1. You should get in. But that's not how they want to play. They want to go by big fan bases. Bama's in the top 16. You're not. They just piss off less people. But I believe they pissed off the wrong less people, because those wrong less Floridians don't hold grudges like, well, like they come for blood, it seems. They're like, oh yeah? What about this corruption scandal, bribery, cronyism, keeping people in poverty? We're going after your whole reputation. Yeah, just a little conspiracy hour, college football. Maybe I should do this once a week. 30-minute broadcast of all the weird shit from college football, politics. Because you know what? Like, as I was saying before I sign out of here, next year I'm not even bothering with these ratings and whatever and AP poll and college football playoff. Only the final college football playoff rating, when they announce the teams that are going to be playing in the 12-team playoff, I'll do those 12 teams and put them in as the 12 ranked teams, because I'll have to, that's going to be their ranking for the playoff. But other than that, next year, I'm using SP Plus as the rankings. I'm keeping it with, because at least then too, I can rank all the different teams 1 to all the way down. And I can see if that actually even makes a difference too, based on the rankings, all the one, going all the way down to whatever 131 or whatever, how many 130 teams. But yeah, I'm done with like the AP, the SEC poll bias. Like there is a SEC poll bias. Because there seems like there's like regional biases, and since the Pac-12 plays out west, and the worst decision was Pac-12 after dark. Like, you have to get these SEC people to see your product, and you put your stuff on when people are sleeping. Like, these SEC journalists ain't waiting up for your games. No, they're going to bed because they think that most SEC journalists, fans, whatever, they just think they're better than the rest of us, anyways. So they're not staying up to watch something that they don't think is that even worth their time. So it was the worst mistake to do this Pac-12 after dark, and yeah, you need to put college football on when the rest of the world is watching too. Like, yeah, you have a nice population base out west, but you can't just serve out west if you want to go to the college football playoffs. Well, don't have to worry about that anymore, because you're never gonna sniff the college. Well, maybe one or two were, yeah, because that's what Oregon State and Washington State, that's what they're vying for. They're vying for, yeah, let's just play against the Mountain West, and which one of us wins, uh, we'll just get that at-large bid. Maybe both of us can get in, because they just played the Mountain West, right? And then are they still doing the Pac-12 championship gets a automatic bid? Are we still doing that with two teams? Is that a thing still? I don't know. I just need to know, because they're kind of hush hush on some of these things. So I'm just wondering, is that really a thing still? Because we know what's happening now. Like, Mountain West Conference and Pac-12 Conference are doing their little Notre Dame impersonation, ACC impersonation. So, uh, is that worthy of an automatic bid? Are we going down that road where we just told 12-0 ACC team that you ain't good enough, but the Pac-2 is? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? You see, like, how one decision, I said this before, how one decision could unravel all past decisions that the college football players, even if it was different people, even if it was Barry Alvarez and he did everything right, You have to be careful when you make these decisions because they can completely unravel all the other decisions great men made before you even got there. But this is ESPN. This is Disney. Look at what they've done to their IPs, their intellectual properties. They've ruined them. And they didn't even create them. Stan Lee, George Lucas, men put hard work into their intellectual properties. And they could just come in and say, yeah, whatever, we're just going to do what we want with them. Because they don't care. They didn't take the time. It's like the kid who you just give him a toy, or he gets any toy he wants, and in 5, 6 days later, all the toys are broken. And then there's the kid who gets the paper route and saves up and buys his toy. And everywhere he goes, that toy is treated like gold because he knows the value of what it took to earn the money to get that toy. So he's very careful of what he does with his toy. He just doesn't leave it everywhere. You know what I mean? He makes sure that when he goes to bed, it's put on the nightstand so he doesn't sleep on it and crush his toy. But yeah, no, Disney, like his dad just his BlackRock dad, or what's that company? Yeah, BlackRock. His BlackRock says dad says, "Oh, you're doing that DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion stuff? Sure, but you can't even do it that well, cause you know what? I'm pretty sure you could do that stuff creatively and make it at least passable, so people be like, yeah, I don't agree with the idea, but at least it was entertaining." You know what I mean? There's lots of stuff I see like that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't really agree with the whole premise of the movie kind of thing, but it was entertaining. You know? No, I can't even get that from Disney now. Even when they're trying to propaganda, they're just trying to just propagandize to me and say, here you go, take it or leave it. Just this is what you get. Or you want to be entertained? Ha, whatever. We don't even. Who wants to be entertained anymore? Ha 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 ha. That's the attitude you get. You want to be entertained. Who wants to be entertained? Come on, this is even way better. Don't you want to be lectured to? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure. I want to just, as a 45-year-old, I just want to relive high school. You know? Yeah, or, you know, yeah, just getting lectured to by the VP or the vice principal. You know? Like, come on. This is what it's boiled down to. It's like, companies ruining their own businesses. Great businesses. Businesses that people want to see succeed because they provide such benefit to society. But no. I don't know. I have a feeling, Desmond Howard, time to go. Take your talents like LeBron James and leave whatever part of Florida you're in, the Disney Florida. Well, you're not in Florida. I'm just saying, like Disney's in Florida, so yeah, you gotta leave Florida. Take your talents away. Do the post Miami LeBron where he goes back to Cleveland or something. Like, time to go. Time to pack up. Time to pack up. Like, look at this. These arrangements gave Disney something unique in all of Florida: the power to govern itself free from outside interference. And what did they do with that? They do what Disney's always done for the past 60 years. They did what they did this past Sunday. They took care of Disney. College football be damned. They don't care about college football. You get it? Herb Street, all these clowns, they don't care. It's not, they don't, this is just so that way Herb Street can keep his dove hands dovey. Because he could never see himself working in a factory. Because I'm pretty sure after Florida's done, that's probably where ESPN's going to end up. Well, they're going to end up with Apple. They're going to have to sell, like, Disney's going to have to sell that. I don't know. I'm personally calling with the FSU thing, I think it's blood now. Because the way that they're releasing this stuff, they're going is just like with the Michigan signal calling scandal. They're just first you go after alleged, but it's more than alleged. Watch the interview from the beginning. They have all the evidence lined up ready to go. Heads are gonna roll. Look, you see, Disney executives rally to fire woke CEO Bob Iger. Yeah, this thing is crumbling. Yeah, I mean, someone's gonna be coming to pick it up, but it's not gonna be the same as before. You're not gonna. They took as you notice, the RCID, the Reedy Creek Improvement District, that's gone. That is gone. They don't have that anymore. Florida dissolved it. So Disney doesn't have that special perk like they used to. So now they gotta pay just like everybody else. So yeah, again, Desmond, Bill, hey, time to sometimes you gotta go and say, yeah, the writing's on the wall, bro. Time to go. ESPN's, yeah, that's why I was listening to Menace to Sports, and that's where I got the $150 million figure for Bama being in, and it makes sense. Yeah, if without that $150 million, everybody on that cast, everybody you saw for that college football playoff game, Booker, whatever, and Reese Davis, and all of them are gone. All of them are gone, and they're probably just gonna go and try and hire new freshies because you don't have to pay the freshies that much. You just hire a whole bunch of new freshies, and then you keep Lee Corso on ice, and Herb Street. So you keep Lee Corso on ice. You already paid for I don't know. I'm not digging whatever his name is, Pat McAfee. Eh, sorry. He's like, I'm gonna make ESPN. Yo, bro, you created what you did just to go to ESPN. I'm gonna change it from the inside. So said the guy who joined the Nazi party. You know what I mean? There's probably a guy's like, yeah, this Nazi party, it's bad, but you know what? I could change it from the inside. 3 months later, this guy's chilling with SS, beating up on Jewish people. I'm telling you, you can't do anything like this. It has to crumble. Change it from the inside? No. Yeah. ESPN, gotta go. Well, I guess you can change it from the inside. If everything on the inside is gutted out with a spoon for maximum pain and tossed into the dispenser, into the, what's it called? What do you guys call it? The one where you push it and then it grinds up everything. Yeah, the trash dispenser thingy, and then you push the button. It's like, yeah, that shit. That's what needs to happen to everything from ESPN like executives all the way down. And then yeah, like I said, you just keep Herb Street. I guess you have to keep Pat McAfee because you paid him all that money, but really that was a waste of money. I'm sorry. He just doesn't have it. I'm like, I try and watch his stuff and I just get bored. I'm like, ugh, it's so cookie cutter ESPN. Ugh, yeah, no. I could see why people are like, I just don't dig the new game day. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, come watch my videos. They're way better. They're way better. You're gonna have to listen to Lee Corso again pick the Buckeyes. Like the man should just retire. Really, I hate to say it, but when you're picking the Buckeyes in Michigan Stadium, like yeah, that's your curtain call, Lee Corso. Sorry, I don't need to pick up. Yeah, actually, you know what? It's time because you know what? You put yourself out there in the public, and you make dumbass calls, just because you know why? This is what ESPN does. Who's the largest fan base? Ohio State. So let's go and I want 8 million people to like me instead of being right. Time to retire, Lee. Yeah, maybe you can again. Yeah, every once in a while you can roll him out from ice, because that's what it seems like they do. It seems like he's in a coma for 6 days a week, and then they unfreeze him and roll him out for game day. Like it's time for like again. If you're gonna go with this, they're trying to make this new blood, old blood. I game day is messed up. And then again, Lee Corso picking Ohio State. Like, why didn't they interview Lee Corso? So yeah, what about that helmet pick now? Yeah, but you can't do that to 80-year-old man. That's why they have him look like the goof to make the Ohio State fans happy. Yeah, this is ESPN. It's just propaganda. The Entertainment Sports Propaganda Network. The P is propaganda. Yeah, it's not production, propaganda. Anyways, that's my. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do a weekly thing like this now to let everything out because I just see this nonsense. Like, and I don't even like. I was watching him. He's always had some good Disney stuff because Disney owns practically so much stuff. So if you want to know what's going on with ESPN, sometimes you have to like follow Disney. And it just, this just popped in. It wasn't even on my feed. It was in the videos I was watching. It came up after. I was watching videos on college football, and then I'm like, this is interesting. Yeah, Disney's the worst company in the world. Who would have thought? They just ruin everything they touch. Whatever the opposite of the Midas touch is, that's what Disney has. The shit touch, the whatever you want to call it kind of touch. Whatever the opposite of turning things to gold is, that's what they do. They used to turn things to gold. Before they used to touch something, Pirates of the Caribbean, touch it, boom, $1 trillion. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever, $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion. Just line it up. 7 of them. 7 films, 1 billion each. They had that. Now, that is God. And then they can't even get it back because Pirates of the Caribbean is Johnny Depp, and you pissed up Johnny Depp. It's just like, yo, how do people like Bob Iger feel upwards? They need to write a book. Bob Iger, write a book, call it Failing Upwards. For real. I don't get it. Like Condoleezza, all these people. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, Dianne Feinstein, Kamala Harris, even on the GOP side, what's his name? McCain. Yeah, insane McCain. And his daughter's even worse. Oh my god. Failing upwards. Insane. The worst group of people is, it's like, what's it called? A kakistocracy, where you're run by the worst possible people imagined. The worst possible people in charge. That's ESPN. That's Disney. The worst possible people are in charge. They don't know their ass from their elbow. And then they just mess up college football because their parent company is in the crapper and about to go into the shredder, and they need $150 million because I'm pretty sure without it, ESPN would go bankrupt. Yeah. I don't know what to call this thing yet. I'm thinking not your average sim. I don't know what, but this is like, this is, I don't know. I'm looking at this thinking, yeah, college football is about to change, and everything is sort of lining up where it's just like, now all of a sudden, how does it that like the NCAA just went from like full to like, oh, now we don't want anything to do with anything after 2 days because they know. I bet you, it's like Joel Klatt talks about. This is one of those dominoes that falls. There was the one he was talking about before with the cases where the kids were getting their waivers denied or whatever, even though they have like everything they need to get the waiver. And some guy in office B205 is like denied, and that was one domino. And then again, now the college. Well, the funny thing is, this domino is the College Football Playoff Committee is an ESPN domino. So ESPN, the whole NCAA thing, like that's a whole, like where will this lead? And then it seemed like the NCAA, when they see ESPN sort of falter at the wayside, they just come back and be like, yeah, we're gonna give you like all that autonomy shit, you know, like nil for athletic departments, you know, they're doing a little dance while they're singing it too. It's like, you know, it's like, ooh, they're just like while they're doing it, they're doing a little Michael Jackson, grabbing the crotch. It's like, oh, we're gonna give you athletic department now. Sign your players up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, like cheerleading is like, yeah, we think this is the best we can do, and you know, we have to be forward thinking, and here's our proposal, and you know, because ESPN dropped the ball, so because it was going in that direction, right, where the dominoes were starting to go away from the NCAA's favor, and then all of a sudden, boom, this happens. Disney's a in corporate shambles, like yeah, and then NCAA is coming. Yeah, we got that athletic nil, babe. Come on, yeah, got that green. Now you can sign your own players to athletic deals. Yeah, so it's like, has the tide turned? Has it really, you know, like, has the tide really shifted back over? Is the NCAA like, because it seems like there's that fight for the NCAA and the you know, the ESPN CFP committee, college football playoff board thing. Like, there's these two separate entities. We think that they're the same on the outside, but really on the inside, they're two separate things. So now that, you know, ESPN, because ESPN technically runs that, and I guess Fox has some input on it as well too, but it really seems like ESPN runs that whole thing. So yeah, should be an interesting December for Disney. I'll tell you that, and that means it'll be an interesting December, especially right around college football playoff time for ESPN as well. So I'm gonna keep updated on this, see what's going on, because I have a feeling they're not happy with the FSU missing out on the playoffs, being undefeated, because that's like history. And now I get the feeling that they're gonna try to find any way possible, especially since they know that they're corrupt. Any way that they can hold Disney, if they can find any way to get to connect Disney and ESPN and the CFP together, they're coming for blood. They are coming for blood, for collusion. You'll probably get some RICO charges, some racketeering. I could see DeSantis jizzing in his pants. Go for it, DeSantis. Go for it all the way, man. All right, this is my uh, late morning, early night, or like late night, early morning rant when I don't know if I should stay up and keep going or go to bed and get some rest. But thoughts from a madman. Talk to you later, guys. Hey, let me know what you think. If you agree or disagree, am I on the right? Am I onto something? Am I, you know, am I just, you know, trying to conflate two things together that shouldn't go together, but seem like they go together, even though they really feel like they go together? Yeah, comment, let me know, because I think this is like this little thing right here. This is like this is one of those things that could affect the future of college football. Like, what happens if Disney collapses and then they have to sell it to Apple? ESPN has to be sold to Apple or something like that. That'd be interesting, you know, or something like that. But what happened if Disney just like what happened if Florida takes the throws the book at Disney, Trump gets elected and then even provides no protection for Disney. And yeah, that'd be crazy. That would be crazy. All right. Take care. Subscribe, like, Watch The Sims, guys. There's more coming. I'm telling you, if we can get me to, I'm making a push for 1,000, because you have the thing that's supposed to take me a year to do. I've already done it. I already have 4,000 hours of watch time. So you guys are watching the content. You guys are clicking on it. I have a year's worth of watch hours to be monetized. That's not even to like the first stage. The first stage is 3,000. We passed that 2 weeks ago. Now I'm at 4,000 on my way to 5,000 watch hours, which is supposed to take me more than a year to do. And I'm having a problem getting to 1,000 subscribers. Like, come on. Don't I put out good content? You guys seem to watch it, like it. Well, you don't watch it, you don't like it. You just watch it and take it for granted almost. Like, well, not all of you. The subscribers, love you guys. You guys engage. You guys are the best. But to the rest of you, like, subscribe, and if you guys don't start liking and don't start subscribing, you're going to hear from me again next week, ranting and raving about why you're not liking and subscribing. Because I know I'm the best. No one can put out as more predictive games as I can. Like, yeah, they can hold their own for a bit, but there's key elements missing. And I know what it is because I know how this game is supposed to play. I know how it works. I know how to manipulate the game. This is what I do with video games. I break them until I fix them again. Especially games that have already been broken. So I didn't even do the breaking this time. Other people broke it. I broke it some more. And then now I'm like, okay, now I see exactly what is broken since I did some breaking as well too. You gotta join in. Like, demolition is fun. Then after you demo it, then it's like, okay, now with the demo, it's all in its bare bones pieces. I understand exactly what I need to do. Now I can put the game back together, like Humpty Dumpty. Because Humpty Dumpty Revamped had a great fall. And some people tried to put Humpty Dumpty together again, but they just didn't know when to say when and pushed him to the other side. And then he broke on the other side as well, too. But yeah, I'm going to go get some tea. And I don't know, I guess keep working. I'm kind of angry, but I'll explain that probably in another video. Maybe I'll just start doing like little videos now describing of some of the things I do. Not in detail because a lot of stuff is proprietary and I don't want some of these my competition. I'll let them know some things. Like the little not important things that make their things a little bit more accurate, because I always think, how many of you people have watched before? Please comment if you've watched somebody else's simulation and actually put money on a game thinking that that was real. Like, that was like, oh yeah, Ohio State's gonna win. Because from what I've heard, like, one of them's been doing it, SG1 Sports, and ever since he's been doing it, since 2018, I believe, ever since he's been doing it, he's been wrong on the Ohio State game. Every time Ohio State has won, the past 3 years, Michigan wins. Every time Michigan has won before, Ohio State wins. So, yeah, go figure, right? Anyways, have a good morning, guys. Or I guess for me, technically, it'd be good night. But hope you guys have a good morning. Don't do anything crazy like I would do and sim 10 games back to back to back to back to back. And then go on a rant about how Disney is evil. Well, we all know that. I mean, but yeah. I'm just showing you the extent of evil that Disney is. But yeah, Connolly, Desmond Howard, get away from these bums quickly. This is a sinking ship, sinking fast.